Welcome to Broad Ideas, brought to you by
Sarah Drew. No.
The Broads and Sarah Drew.
Yeah.
Sarah is joining us today. We're very excited. I'm really excited about a new murder show.
Always excited about a murder show.
Always. It's so comforting. You look pretty. Your eyebrows.
Thank
You did your
you.
eyebrows today.
Hey, I got new makeup yesterday.
Oh. I see it on your face.
I also started using that Revision, the skincare line. Yeah. And I have been getting compliments saying I look a little dewier.
You look very dewy.
I do?
You do.
I dewy?
Yeah.
Dewy?
Dewy. Okay, let's bring Sarah before we
Okay.
go off on too much of a tangent.
Sometimes when the world feels insane, you can take a little peek inside of Rachel's little brain. All these thoughts are swirling round and round inside. So join us on this journey as we take a little ride. We'll talk about dogs and kids and things. We'll talk about chicks and tampon strings. We'll talk about boys that'll make you cry. We'll talk about death, 'cause people die.
We're so happy to have you here.
I'm so happy to be here. Yay. I know. We've been in chat mode. That always happens.
Yes.
And then we're like, oh, yeah, we're supposed to do a
record a thing.
podcast.
Yeah, exactly. And we just want to talk.
Chitty, chatter.
But it's hard not to, especially when you have children.
Oh,
Yes.
It's immediate point of reference, and let's get in there. And similar in age.
Yes. Our daughters are the same age.
almost exactly the same age.
2014.
Yes.
Yes, I know. It's such a tender age.
I know. It was like, and it's double digits and the whole thing, and they make such a thing of it, and it's
She's going to get her ears pierced. That's her big thing. That's
Really?
what she gets for
10?
For 10. Yeah.
I think
She's
I
been
did
talking
too.
about it since last year.
yeah. It's so funny because my daughter really wanted to do it, and then she's decided she doesn't want to do it because she's really scared of
Did
the
she get a little bit
pain.
nervous? Oh.
Well, like, how do your kids do with shots?
So funny.
Yeah, I know. They're actually, it's more the anticipation of
Yes.
it. And then every single time I sort of coach them, I'm like, what you're going to be afraid of is that it's coming.
Right.
But you always remember that once it's done, it's done. And so they kind of, they try to like talk themselves into, I know it's just going to be the anticipation. It's just going to be the anticipation. Just going to, so they're better at it now. But there was a time when it was very, very hard to get them to do the shots.
Very hard. It still is. And I try, they have like the shot blockers and everything else.
Are those those sticker things that
The
they
things
put on?
you put on and it kind of pricks your whole arm, and then the prick. Anyway, it was not successful.
That was nice.
I did order, it may have been from Shark Tank. I'm not sure. It's like an ice pack vibrating thing that you put on.
Oh, yeah, I love that thing.
Oh, you have that thing?
I don't
what does it
have
do?
I've had
I
the
don't
vibrating
understand.
thing for shots.
So you just wear it?
It's like a roller, and they no, it's not the same.
This is a ladybug. This is for children.
Oh, this is for children.
Yeah.
I've actually seen that.
Yes.
It
like,
vibrates.
It's like an ice pack and it vibrates, so like you kind of don't feel it.
amazing.
You don't feel the
But
needle
it
go
is
in.
the anticipation. Like
Is it?
my
Because
daughter,
this-
the
it
freak
takes
out.
2 seconds, the actual thing.
The freak out is next level.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. Like
Vibrate?
straight up, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I will say though, sorry, that we're on this, like panicking. And that was like a newer thing within the last year. Because she used to have a favorite ride, Guardians of the Galaxy. Have you ridden it at Disneyland?
Yes. Wait, it's the
California
drop.
Adventures.
It used to be Tower of Terror.
I know. I hate the feeling because I want to die. The stomach when it
I
goes
love it.
up
Yeah.
into your throat.
Yes.
That feeling is my least favorite amusement park feeling.
Totally.
So I will suffer through it for the
Yeah.
sake of the children, but it's not
How
my
much do
favorite.
we suffer through it for the sake of our children?
Why do I
So much.
like it?
So much.
The feeling or just suffering?
Why do I love
like
the suffering? No, I love the feeling of my stomach jumping into my
Oh,
throat.
I hate it. It feels, do you know what it feels like an anxiety attack for me. It feels like what my body does when I'm in anxiety. It's
Yeah.
my
Got it.
stomach jumps into my throat.
Yes.
And so feeling that for fun No. No.
I get that.
But I love all the visuals. And I know Chris Pratt because we did Everwood together.
Oh my God.
Yes, I know. So like we are huge Guardians of the Galaxy fans in our home. My son is a little filmmaker and he like has been inspired by so much of that stuff. So of course it's super fun visually, but the stomach and the throat is least favorite.
Yeah.
I don't like spinning.
I don't mind spinning. You don't like spinning?
Not after having kids. We've talked about
I get
this.
motion
Motion
sickness
sickness.
having my daughter. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Isn't that weird? Like
I did like Six Flags with my son, and I did a year-long pass just for the two of us. So it was like a mommy-son thing.
That's cute.
And I'd have to take like half a Xanax before going, before starting the day. A very low dosage, guys. I'm not crazy. But not that's the wrong word. Don't say that word.
Oh my God. So many things that we
How about I am
say.
stable?
I am so stable.
No need to
I do
worry.
have anxiety though, and I have medication for anxiety. But to go on those kinds,
Those are very serious.
he always wants to sit in the front row. Of
course.
So every fear you have of wanting to protect your child when you're hanging off the edge of forever and with almost nothing holding you. And if something breaks, we're just dead. You're dead. All I see is him falling from the thing and me like
we all
dying
do that. The most morbid thoughts.
Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst. But then I do have fun. Once we're in it, I can have fun.
Yeah.
But I do almost black out often in like the looped loops. And my husband was like, you can't do that anymore, Sarah. You can't. That's not good for your brain. He's like, you can't slightly lose consciousness for fun.
I've seen videos of that. Where
Wait, you
people
have?
like pass out on a roller coaster.
Is it the
And they're like,
fear?
Yes. Yes.
Stop it.
That's
Yes.
Is it the fear?
I don't, and it's just the jostling your brain around, I think, probably, but
I don't like that part.
yeah.
That's the part I can't stand. It like Six Flags and stuff when you get the whiplash.
Oof.
I haven't
don't like
done
that.
the Six Flags in a while. Like we had it in 2021. We did it for like several times. And then I would come home and tell my husband about, I mean, on that one, I passed out a little bit. He's like, you what? You can't do that.
That's a little much.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
I have to go, actually. Stella's 13th birthday.
really?
And she is like my roller coaster buddy. Like, I'll
Yeah.
do everything. She's basically my niece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to have to go on
You're gonna
all
have
of
to go.
them.
You're going to have to go.
I don't know how I feel about
With
it.
Briar?
No.
Is she going to do it?
Briar will go. She doesn't
not
like
gonna do
she doesn't
all of
do
those
upside
yet.
down. She doesn't do upside
The
down.
upside down is it's all very.
I like the upside down. See, I like the stomach jumping out. I like feeling like I'm slightly going to lose my body.
Oh, do you like the like haunted houses? Do you like being scared? Do you like
I
that
do.
kind of?
I
You do?
love being scared, but I don't like it when they physically, like, I want
When
to
they run
Like
physically.
not Scary Farm.
I don't love it, actually.
I love it.
I feel like I want to physically fight them,
Yeah.
and that part I don't like.
I watched recently. There was something going around on Instagram of Sarah Paulson going through a haunted house.
yeah.
That sounds good.
It was so good. I felt so seen. She was like yelling, I don't like you.
Yeah.
And like anytime someone would yell at her, and then she fell on the floor like 5 times. Just
amazing.
fully fell on the floor
This
from
is
being
great.
scared. And I'm like, that is me. I have enough anxiety in my life. I don't need to add to it.
Yeah.
No.
I don't like the physical part of it.
Yeah.
Like when they chase you, like I could watch a really scary movie, but just don't physically come at me because
Yeah.
I want to like
You'll fight. I'm
you
going to
back.
punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would.
Somebody would be
Yes.
injured.
She would throw down.
Well, I think you might relate to this growing up with an older brother.
Oh.
When someone fusses with me, my natural instinct is
fight.
it's to fight them.
Yeah.
Because I
Oh,
had
yeah.
to.
Oh, yeah.
What is your situation? Brothers, sisters?
I have an older brother.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was more emotional torment. I do remember like we would get, he liked, and we're so close now, But he liked to get at me because I reacted in very big ways. I was always a very emotional kid. And so it was very fun to target me. And he would do it by being like, oh, really? Oh, that's what you think? Oh, that's so dumb that's your opinion.
Oh,
just put me down like that, kind of like digging. And I'd be like, it would make me so mad. And I would physically I would scratch him. Yeah. That was my... Yeah. And I would physically have his like skin under my nails. Yep. Yeah. And then, but if he ever laid a hand on me, he would be in so much trouble.
That's good.
Because I'm the girl. My parents did not abide.
Oh,
so he would just mentally torment me.
I had that, a lot of that.
Yeah, I had
You
both.
did? Did you both have older brothers?
Yes. Can you tell? It really adds like some kind of thicker skin to you, man. Let me tell you. But it is true, like the putting you down. And I'm like, that's where it started.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's the teasing, but at the root of it, it's just literally putting you down.
It's making you as small, making you feel as small
like you're
as
really
possible.
stupid.
You're the dumbest
You don't
thing
know
I've ever
anything.
seen.
I don't believe a word you say.
Yes.
So you go through life so defensive and trying to be like, I know things.
I know things.
I used to, my brother would be like, you have to put rocks in your pocket. And he really made me believe if I didn't put rocks in my pocket, I would fly away because my ears were as big as Dumbo's. And so I always like grew up thinking like I had really big ears.
Your ears are
No, which you don't.
No, they're normal.
Right.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
They would, I'm trying to think.
He used to tell me my skin was brown because nobody else in my family had brown skin. And he'd be like, your skin is brown because you came out in mom's poop. And I'd be like, hey, what?
It's like the creativity too of the insults. How?
No.
Why do they need to hurt each other so much? You know?
Yeah.
When that kind of stuff happens, because my kids fight a lot. They also really love each other and they're also wonderful and they also fight each other like crazy. But whenever I get really triggered when Micah emotionally torments Hannah or makes her feel small because I'm like, oh, you better not do that.
Yeah.
That is the whiff of the patriarchy. You will build your sister up. She is a girl. She is a woman and she is valuable.
Oh,
damn it.
God.
It's funny. I do get very triggered when he's
sick.
Because, and I always come back with the story. Uncle Alan used to. And he's like, I know what Uncle Alan used to do.
That's so funny. I did that yesterday. Elliot said to my little son, Shepherd, who has communication problems, he said, Shepherd was saying he was going to call the police on Elliot. And he's like, they're not going to understand you. And I went, Elliot Gray, you get over here. And I was like, you are his protector. You make him feel understood. You did it.
Yes.
And he looks at me and he goes, they wouldn't understand him.
He's like,
He's like, I'm not putting you down. These are just facts.
I mean.
And I was like, no.
I know. It's so interesting having to kind of navigate the battles because you just get, we're so all about repair after rupture in our home. We're all about the repair and the repair. You don't let the sun go down on your anger and we make up and we admit what we did so that we can fully like lay it all out on the table and take responsibility for our part in it, just try to do it. And we were talking before we started recording how intense it is to be a parent in this stage, like with middle school kids. Because we're sleeping, but now there's so much more emotional stuff that's going on that we're navigating and just desperately praying that I'm not messing it up, Yeah. And sometimes I feel like I'm kicking ass and I'm like not the coolest mom, but the best mom. Like I handle that situation so well and I taught them something or I see them reflecting that kind of model of repair after rupture. And I'm like, yes. And then other times I lose my shit and I say something I don't want to say and because I was triggered by something and I just feel like the biggest failure. And I'm like, they're going to be in therapy for this later. It just is this constant course correcting, throwing something against the wall, seeing if it sticks. And then they change. Then you figure something out and then they're like on to something else.
Yeah.
So it is
it's a constant battle.
catch up.
You like, am I making the right decision? Because you're responsible for forming these people.
I know.
And it's so stressful. I had a panic yesterday because I changed schools. I didn't. She did. But like it was my, decision. And it's still a constant, there's anxiety and a panic that'll like rush over.
Was this the right choice? This is setting them on a trajectory for who knows how long. And and the reality is that as long as they know that they're safe at home with us and they know that they're loved and they know that you are a safe space to land, everything else is gravy. I just feel like that is the stuff, because so many people, grown-ups walking around the world today, did not have that growing up, did not know that they could be safe at home. And so they develop all kinds of coping mechanisms to figure out how to navigate and survive the world. But what I think the greatest thing that we can do as parents is just to be completely present and always a safe space to land. Always,
And I think outside of that, I also think there's a level of acceptance as a parent that no matter what you do, they're probably going to end up in therapy.
Yeah, you're right. 100%.
And
100%.
that's okay. Because to me, I'm like, therapy's fantastic. So whatever it is that you grow up in, you're going to have your perception, you're going to have your filter. And it's either my mom wasn't there enough or my mom was there too much. There's no perfect parenting.
No.
So I couldn't agree more. It's being present, it's being safe, and it's being loving. But also being firm and being kind.
Yeah.
Like
kind of, they need boundaries. Kids need boundaries too.
They need boundaries.
Big time.
You guys were sitting here and I gave Briar popcorn and all I could think of, I'm like, what if she chokes on her popcorn?
She's not going to.
She's not going to choke on her popcorn.
That's never crossed my mind. But because we're sitting in here and I know we're there and we're talking about anxiety and kids, and I'm like, oh my God. But it's just an example of the morbid fucking thoughts.
I know.
Yeah.
But they're always, it won't ever end. I think that's one thing nobody tells you when you enter into parenthood. They all want to talk about the babies. They all want to talk about where are you going to get the sleep. But they don't talk about the fact that you are going to parent for the rest of your life. You are going to be thinking about them.
Yes.
And of course, you're going to be setting them up to launch. Did you guys see Wild Robot?
No.
Yes.
I don't know that I can.
She
read it. She read it last year.
Yeah, Elliot's reading it now after seeing the movie, but still.
No.
It's so,
I heard everyone cry.
My son, who's almost 13, wept.
They all
through
cried.
the whole movie.
Got the chills when you said that.
Like he's such a feeler and like such a deep thinker and like so tender, and both the kids are. But for a boy to be that is kind of like lovely and rare, I think. But he's just like, he for the last 10 minutes of the movie put his head on my shoulder and linked his arm through my arm and just rested on my shoulder with tears pouring down his face. The whole last 10 minutes of the movie.
I don't know if I can handle it.
You can handle it.
It's
so good.
It's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
It's also really affirming and really, and
I can't.
It's a lot about launching, right? Like loving your kid, figuring out how to be a parent, then launching your kid.
How?
Then supporting them and making sure that they're set up for the world. And it's so beautiful. And so I do think, so I say that we will parent forever. But look, my parents are helping me right now because my husband is teaching out east and I'm in and out of town all the time. And so whenever he goes to teach, they come and live with me. And they're God's gift to the world. I love them so much. They're so amazing. But I just had a big kind of emotional release last night that had been kind of building for a long time. And both my mom and dad and my son and daughter all came and took care of me in all of the ways. Like, my daughter brought me a pillow. My son went and like warmed up a little thing and like put it on. He's like, so, sometimes when I get really emotional, my shoulders tense up. So I think if you just put this warm thing on your shoulder, you'll feel better. And then all four of them were like, you are awesome, mommy. If people can't see you for who you are, you like literally hyping me up and hugging me just like a pot. So my parents are still parenting me to this day,
I'm so emotional.
What happened?
No, it's nothing like crazy. Just I'm just tired.
Emotions.
And my husband's been gone for now 8 weeks.
Oh my God. Have you not seen him in 8 weeks?
We saw each other like maybe 5 weeks ago when I was shooting something in North Carolina. He like came down for our birthday weekend and we got to have like a little weekend.
You guys have the same birthday? Or
yeah, he's like 2 days before me.
Oh my gosh.
But I think I was just like, I'm used to being able to sort of unload when my, with, and I think there's just an element of wanting to keep it together for my kids and then being so grateful to my parents, but just not unloading in the same kind of way with my parents that I do with my partner, you know?
Right.
And I think it was just sort of like a moment where I just needed a good cry.
Yes.
And there was some stuff and I just said all the things. And we're big believers in feeling things is so good. Emotions are so good. Yeah. Crying is like a sneeze. It's like you have to get it out or it's just going to sit and tickle the inside of you forever. Like you just it's good to get it out. It feels so good. And I say this stuff to my son whenever he cries. I'm like, doesn't that feel so much better? So last night he's like, is it feeling better? Isn't it feeling so good?
Oh my God.
Isn't it feeling so good
what
while
an
you cry?
angel. This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar. I have trouble in the morning. I can get hangry. I'm not going to lie. I love IQ Bar. They refuel and nourish and satisfy hunger with no sugar crash. And that's what I need to get me going in the morning. Getting my daughter to school, going about my day, it really helps. Start each day right with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. Their ultimate sampler pack includes all three. And right now, IQ Bar is offering our podcast listeners an exclusive deal, 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus get free shipping. And right now, IQ Bar is offering our special podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus get free shipping. To get your 20% off, just text IDEAS to 64,000. Text IDEAS to 64,000. That's IDEAS to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. See term for details. Olivia?
Yes, Rachel?
You know, we went on a whole rant on skincare, and mainly your face is really what got me.
That makes me really happy.
You were so dewy. I needed to do the do.
Did you do the do?
I did do the do. I have to admit, I'm a convert. Revision skincare, because you used the C+ correcting complex 30%. I had to do it too.
Yeah, it's really great. I'm obsessed with the vitamin C in the skincare lately. And it also is everywhere. Do you see it everywhere? It's like on social media, magazines, my dermatologist's office. Everyone's talking about the vitamin C. And so I started to learn more about it. And my biggest takeaway is that all vitamin C's are created different.
A lot of the other vitamin C serums, they smell terrible. The type of vitamin C Revision uses is called THD ascorbate, and a lot of what is available on the market uses a form of vitamin C called L-ascorbate. But get this, Revision's THD ascorbate delivers 150 times penetration and has significantly better tolerability. Everyone do yourself a favor and try Revision skincare today.
Not tomorrow.
Today.
That's such a good example that I think needs to be shared, is because so many adults or parents think they need to hold it together for their children. But what a gift you're giving them to be able to bear witness to someone going through emotion and being there for them is a gift.
I'm noticing that. I agree with you. And I see that for especially watching my son take care of any one of us when any one of us is in pain. It empowers him.
That's right.
He feels like so alive. I at one point last night, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I just can't stop crying. And he's like, don't you dare apologize for crying.
Stop.
This is my spirit animal.
My God.
Yeah.
What an incredible little human.
With my daughter coming over with her favorite little squishmallow and being like,
oh, the
just hug her.
squishmallow.
Just hug her. You'll feel better.
Squishmallows really do make everything better.
They do. They're so soft.
But that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Because you're showing them that it's safe to feel. And most kids, we say this all the time, like almost every episode is more is caught than taught.
Interesting.
So you can teach them all day long it's safe to feel your feelings, but if they've never seen it modeled, they're not going to believe it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What a beautiful thing.
It was really nice. I went to bed, my eyes were so swollen because I cried for like 45 minutes last night. It was just a really good big cry. And then we watched the next 2 episodes of my show, Mistletoe Murders, which my whole family is obsessed with. They love it so much. My son is obsessed with it. So that also was really, really gratifying. It was like, it was such, I don't know, life is so weird, but it was such a lovely night of just expressing so many big feelings, having my precious humans in my life just gather around me and love me and care for me, and then celebrate this thing that I love so much that I worked so hard on, and then have them and watch them all like love it and enjoy it. I went to bed and it was like my eyes are like swollen shut, but my heart is so full.
That is the sweetest.
That's the feeling.
So good.
Right? That like, after a good cry where you just feel that warmth in your heart. And it's like something takes over and you're like, I feel better.
Yes.
And then getting to share that with them is really cool. And also, like, I would imagine as a working actress, there's a lot of highs and lows about what you do professionally.
Yes. Yeah.
What is your relationship to that with them? Like, how much do you let them in on that? How much do you share? What's that experience like?
Yeah, I mean, we talk a lot about how, I like to be as open as possible, whenever I'm in sort of like interview situations or whatever. I like people to see my heart. I like to express vulnerability. I think people learn from that. And that's what I like to bring into all my relationships. But you also do have to be really careful about exactly how you talk about everything. And you can't be 100% honest about everything that's going on in public, because people grab it and turn it into something else. And you never know where it's going to go. And I think one of the biggest, we talk about how I am, my legal last name is my married name in order to keep and preserve the separateness of Sarah Drew, the actress and the professional, and then Sarah Lanfer, who's part of the Lanfer family. And this is mom and dad, and we're at church, we're the Lanfer family, we're the Lanfers, And so there's something about separating the two while also trying to be as authentic as I can possibly be out in the world as well. I do talk to them, though, about that, about how that is a tightrope act. And it's a constant sort of navigating, there are things you have to be careful about talking about that I'm very comfortable talking about with my dear friends, Of
course.
So yeah, I think separating the two, but I still am mommy, but I'm Sarah Drew doing the work over here. But the way I show up at work is very much mommy Sarah Lanfer. I show up with a whole heart, and when I'm on set and, they get to witness that. They come to set, they visit. I've been sharing a lot more with them lately because my son is really into filmmaking. He makes his own short films. We started making movies together during the pandemic. We bought like a giant green screen, and now he's like editing on Final Cut Pro and building his own special effects.
So cool.
So fun. So and Hannah, they both act. They both do musical theater.
Yeah.
And they're both little performers as well. So we have that really fun thing that we share in common. Another big thing I think is I travel a ton for work, and that is always hard when I leave home. But I have a very strict rule that I adhere to, which is when I leave to go do something, if I've been presented with the opportunity, my husband and I always talk about, is this a story you want to tell? Is this valuable? Like, do you want to tell this story? If the answer is yes, then you go for it. You bring your whole heart to it. It's you never half-ass anything. This is and you treat it with the gravity it deserves and with the joy and the gratitude that it deserves. So if I'm leaving to go shoot something and I'm leaving my kids, I don't leave going, oh, I hate that I gotta go. It just sucks. I go, oh man, it's hard to be away from you. It's always hard to be away from you. But I am going to do this thing that I was made to do. And I feel so joyful when I get to do this thing. It's part of who I am, and it's part of how I believe I'm loving the world. So it's a gift that I get to go do this, and I love what I do. So now they know it's a subtle shift, but it makes all the difference in the world. Yeah. So then when I like call or I'm FaceTiming, my son's like, tell me about your favorite scene you get to shoot today. Like what
really
is,
sweet.
you know, like he's now in the vibe of it's exciting that you're doing this thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Kristen Bell said the same thing.
Yeah.
She said she never says like, oh, I have to go work.
No.
I
Drew
get to go
Barrymore
to work.
says that too.
Yeah.
Like they very much like,
I think it's such a great thing because then you're closing the conversation if you do it otherwise.
I did that recently because like I never leave my daughter ever. And I haven't left her for more than like a night or two in at least 6 years. And I went on this trip and she was like so upset that I was leaving. And I had big feelings about leaving too. But I told her, I was like, but this is something mommy really wants to do and I'm excited to do. And, you know, like I painted it in a different way of like it's something that I really was happy about, even though it's always hard to leave her.
Of course.
And it was like the first time I got to do that.
She can get excited for you.
Like traveling is the coolest thing. And if you ever have the opportunity, I want you to take it.
Exactly.
Yes. So that was the, you know, message behind it. Even though it was hard, we both cried.
Of course.
Like two things can happen at once. You can cry because you're leaving and you can be excited, but it opens the conversation. If you close it like, oh, I have to go do this thing. That's what they're catching. And then they're going to start to make the association of work is a drag. It's something that you have to do.
Right.
And also,
it's an obligation.
If you hate it so much, why would you leave spending time with me to go do this thing that you don't want to do?
Right.
That makes me feel worse, actually, about you going, you know? You know, because they'll just be like, well, can we afford to stay in the house if you don't do this job? But then why would you ever say, like, I'm going to go if you hate this idea so much?
Right.
And that's part of our job as parents is those conscious belief systems that we're helping implement into their little tiny computer brains.
Yes.
And if we start associating negativity with our choices, then they're going to mirror that.
I know. And it's going to bleed out everywhere. And then I'm also going to bring it onto set with me. You know, if I'm whining about it before
Can we get
I go.
done here? Yeah.
Exactly. I'm not going to be fully present with a fully like wholehearted joy and enthusiasm that I want. That's how I want to live. It's not fun living in any other energy. You know, I want to live with enthusiasm and joyful expectation and like excitement about the thing I'm doing right now.
Right.
You know, and then that bleeds. It was interesting because Micah made 2 short films while I was shooting Mistletoe Murders in Toronto. And I was gone for 10 weeks this summer. So it was a long time. They came out to visit a little bit, but then they went home for 6 weeks of summer acting camp that they love and their best friends do and stuff. But he made 2 short films and one of them, it was just so amazing. I was just so blown away by the special effects and everything. And I'm talking to him about how I'm just so impressed. You put so much effort into this. And when you hit a hurdle, you did research and you watched a YouTube video and then you figured out how to do it. And it blew me away. And he goes, yeah, well, you know, Mom, I love what I do.
Say something.
That's cool.
That's so cute.
Well, that's really great because you're at the age where your work is being actualized in them. So you can see like all of those things that mattered so much that I'm helping kind of bake the cake and you're starting to get to see it.
Yeah.
Because
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Because when they're little, they're just chaos
just
bundles.
sponges.
Exactly.
Yeah. But when they were little, you were shooting here, right? Or were they?
I was.
You had them when you were on Grey's.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so
That's a
like
lot.
nothing shoots here.
No, I've never shot here. I mean, I did one pilot here. Actually, like right when I was finishing Grey's, I did a pilot concurrently with that, and then I haven't shot here.
But Grey's,
since.
you were on for 9. Is that right? 9 seasons?
Yeah.
That's so
What? I mean,
Wild.
being on something for that long, like
How long was the OC?
4.
Was it only 4?
People always say that.
I know.
I know. It's kind of crazy.
You know, Ben McKenzie's my cousin.
Wait, so
Yeah,
we just
saw that. And we were like, wait a minute.
What? Yeah, that's
We went to college together. So we share one family of, and like I'm related by blood to the mom and he's related by blood to the dad. So we share one family of cousins.
Got it.
But he's on one side and I'm on the other. And we didn't meet each other till we went to college together.
Are you
But
serious?
Yeah.
No way.
That's
So fun. Yeah, we
hilarious.
did like a production of 6 characters in search of an author during our time there. And we took a physics for artists class called How Things Work
Yeah.
together. Yeah. But
that is
Ben,
hilarious.
isn't that so fun?
Aw,
I can't
Ben.
believe it's only 4
Only
years.
4. I know.
It
Which,
really
that's
made a
why
splash.
it's like,
It made a huge splash.
yeah, it was kind of crazy that it was only 4. But then, yeah, you hear 9 and it blows my mind.
I know.
Like, that's how old my
wild.
son is.
It
You've been doing, you know, like, that's nuts.
and that doesn't happen, and it doesn't happen anymore. You know,
No.
shows don't go. I mean, you're really, really killing it if your show goes for 5 or 6 years these days.
Right.
So that it's just
And Grey's is still going.
It's still going.
What season are they in? Like 20?
21.
That's
I think 21 or 22. 21. I don't remember. One of the two.
that is
Was it hard
wild.
to like, did you go through a mourning process
When it ended.
yeah.
Oh yeah, big time.
What was that
because
transition like?
Because she just like and it was 24 episodes a year. It was 10 months out of the
Yeah.
year. So I'm
Yeah.
living
That's your
in
life.
this person's skin for 10 months out of every year for almost a decade. You know, it is, she becomes, and I was advocating for her all the time. And I loved her. I still love her because she's still alive. She's still alive on Netflix. But yeah, I think she became kind of like a sister or something to me. So it was like a little death, you know, when I had to say goodbye to her. And it was hard at first. And I think the biggest challenge for me was sort of it kind of shook my identity a little bit because
Completely.
if you're that girl that's on Grey's for almost a decade and
Yeah.
you're in that family and then all of a sudden you're no longer that girl that's on Grey's, but that show is still going on without you, there's a real sense of how much of my identity did I kind of weave into this character that I'm playing and this family and this universe that I live in. And so kind of going out into the world and being like, okay, I'm no longer that girl that's on Grey's. I didn't fully realize that Grey's is sort of evergreen and people are constantly discovering it even now, you know?
Totally.
But in the moment, I was a working actress. I was in a solid job for almost a decade. And then now I'm out in the world and auditioning all over again. And I hadn't been auditioning really much at all, you know, during that time. So it was a challenging transition for sure.
I can imagine. That would be really like because I know even from doing theater, when you wrap a play, there's this like crushing kind of depression that comes over. You're like, we were a family.
Oh, yes.
And it was you're so entrenched in each other's lives and in the story and all of that. And then it's gone and there's like a lull.
Yeah.
And then, but I think that my friend Billy put a quote up the other day that was like, love is having a million little funerals.
That's
Or something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but like when you love someone, you mourn the version of them that they were. And then you mourn, like it's such a mourning process, love in general.
Yeah.
So especially with your work where you're in it for 9 years. And then also identity. I mean, I know you went through that in the sense of like not you attaching to the identity of your character, but you shot way past it a long time ago. And then people are still like Summer and you're like, who?
Yeah.
You know, it's like other people will hold you to that identity as well.
Oh yeah, I don't. I everywhere I go, you know, doesn't matter what I'm promoting. Everybody wants to talk about Grey's Anatomy, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm right at the beginning. It was more challenging for me to be like, guys, I am doing other stuff,
Right.
You know. And now as I've also engaged with more fans and heard people's stories about how much April's stories have affected them and the fact that she's still affecting people now, I have a real tenderness toward it all. And because I've sort of now stepped into this new chapter of my life and I'm now, you know, writing and producing and directing and like doing all kinds of other stuff and making my own stuff. And there's a sense of like, yeah, that was such a beautiful chapter of my life. And now I'm in this new space and I don't have the kind of attachment that I had to it before. But it was a rock to the, it shook me. It definitely shook me. And I think one of the really beautiful lessons was sort of learning that everything in this industry is transitory. Things come and go all the time. What matters is the relationships that you're building in the present moment. What matters is the stories you get to tell and got to tell. And those things kind of, especially if it's film and television, they live on forever, which is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And then those relationships, they carry on in different ways. It's like, you know, leaving high school and going to college, you know? You're never going to be in the same space with that group of people in the same way ever again. And that is a big grief. You know, it is. It's real grief. It's not some floofy pretend. It's real. It's a real thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's weight to it.
Absolutely. I went back and had to watch the whole series of the OC for a podcast, like a rewatch, right?
Yeah.
And I had the hardest time.
Did you cry every day?
I was like depressed.
Yeah, it was
just
depressing.
because you're looking at yourself. I was 21 years old.
Yeah.
And like the whole time and everything it represented and everything else. And I've talked about this before, but it was just such a trip to like adjust and be okay watching it and like just processing all those feelings.
Was there like a mixture of joy and trauma in just the experience of being like shooting to kind of fame really, really, really fast with that show and kind of navigating those waters?
Right. You know, it's so interesting because I was 21. But I really think because I was dating Adam, who, you know, all the kids obviously were going through it. And I can't imagine if I was 16 years old and I was Misha and on the cover of every magazine and whatnot.
Was she 16 at the time?
She was 16 when we did the pilot.
Yeah.
And I had him, and it was kind of like this grounding thing of going through it with like your partner at the time that kind of made it like, it could block out the trauma, if that makes sense.
Yes,
you know,
sure.
And it was just kind of like something we were just going through and we could relate, you know, because, and obviously it was more so happening to him, but still just being in it together.
More so happening
oh, for
to
sure
him.
it was. But
What?
yeah, no. I mean, of course, like.
No, yeah, but.
Yes. Anyway. But it was fine. Even that was fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just a different thing. But there is a lot that comes along with it and at a young age. And Ben was the oldest out of the four of us. And I would say, like, I don't know his personal experience with it. You know, I think he's such like a...
I've never done a real deep dive with him on it either.
Yeah. He's such like a committed actor and like to the art of it and everything. So I think that was more his focus.
Yeah.
He seemed grounded. My perception was that he always remained incredibly grounded.
Yeah.
He's always been incredibly
very
grounded.
much so. I would say that too. Yeah. And Brody was like the same, you know, just like it was what it was. Like it just kind of...
How old was Adam when?
Adam was probably 23. I think he's a couple years older than me.
So young. That catapult into the spotlight is still
but a
so
teenager,
young.
I can't imagine. You know?
No, I can't. There are too many other things you're just
trying to
as we
figure
were
out talking about, like starting middle school and high school and whatever. And then she's like, you know,
that's
the biggest thing ever at the time.
I remember, so I was doing Everwood when you guys were doing the OC. I think it was at the same time.
Yes, it was because I auditioned for Everwood.
You did?
I did. And Patrick Rush was casting Everwood, and that's how I was brought in for the OC.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Remember? And the girl they cast, like people say we look a lot alike, and she was cast
Was it
in
Nora?
Everwood.
The Nora?
Yes.
Yes,
that was the part I auditioned
Nora
for.
was on Grey's when I came on to Grey's. The
Are
two
you
of us were in the
serious?
same little group that joined at the same time. Yes.
How funny.
Isn't that so funny?
That's so funny.
But I do remember, like, Everwood was my first show ever. And I got addicted. We didn't have there was no social media yet, but there were forums and messages.
Yes, of course.
And I was addicted to reading message boards. Is the worst thing ever. It was so bad for me.
It's so bad.
Because my character also came on to play like the ugly wallflower best friend of Emily Van Camp. Oh, yeah. No, I had glasses and frizzy hair and not a stitch of makeup. I was like the ugly one, the ugly duckling.
Oh, television.
And I seriously, and I would go to the message boards, and I'm sure there were lots of lovely things people said about my performance.
You don't take that in.
You don't. You look at all.
Sarah Drew is so ugly that the television cracks every time she steps in front of it. I remember it word.
You do.
For
you just
word.
verbatim, like
it hurt so badly. And for someone, I grew up never considering whether I was pretty or not. It just wasn't a thing we talked about. My mom is a scientist, and just like makeup wasn't worn, hair, nobody cared about it. Nobody cared about fashion. It was, and I was so driven as I was an overachiever in terms of getting good grades, and I wanted to please everybody everywhere. And also in terms of acting, I was like absolutely fully focused on I'm going to be an actor in my life, and I'm going to find any opportunity I can, and I'm going to shine in any possible way that I can. So I was so focused on that. And boys were never interested in me. I did not have boys interested in me. So like I married kind of my first boyfriend, and we've been together 25 years, and I'm like, I love him so much, and he's the most amazing person. I'm so grateful that I met him before entering into this industry.
Sure.
All that to say is that I never considered whether I was one of the pretty people in the world or not. And then, but as like a 24-year-old, when I joined Everwood and then was absorbing all of these comments, and it was so many nasty things about how ugly I was, I all of a sudden was like, am I an ugly person? I guess maybe I'm an ugly person.
Stop it.
Isn't it? It was so damaging. And then I think about our girls.
So messy.
With all of the feedback that's there right now.
In social media and everything, yeah.
We are not
Imagine
built
if there
for
was
this feedback.
social
we are not
media?
built for our nervous systems are not built to take in all of this feedback. We're not.
No.
What is happening in the world, though, is my question. Because on a daily basis, when you meet people, by and large, you're not meeting people that are sitting there spewing negativity, right?
Right.
Where are these people?
They're hiding.
Who's raising them to be so mean-spirited? I don't understand it.
It's so hard. I mean, it's the same reason why look, all of these companies know that the algorithm they know what is a successful algorithm, and what a successful algorithm is the most salacious, the most negative, doesn't matter if it's true or false. Anything awful, anything that tears somebody down, or especially if someone is at the height of something, that is a plus on the clickbait meter, right? Anything we can do to rip people down. And it's so sad. You don't get clicks if it's full of positivity.
Right.
Positivity does not
sell.
No, it doesn't sell.
So what is up with that?
I think it's a deep ingrained human nature.
I'm looking
shit.
at you for the answer.
I know.
I think help me understand.
I think there's so much good in us, and I think there's also some just ugliness in all of us. You know? And I think the reason we have to teach our kids boundaries, because if they didn't have them, they would choose the ugly.
Right.
They just would. You have to physically tell them not to stick their finger in the socket, or they will. You have to tell them, don't hit that person because that person made you angry. Right. Learn some self-control, because the human nature wants to hit the person who said the mean thing, you know? Yeah. So it is an active work of our humanity to combat that. It is inherent in us, that ugliness. We got to fight against it. That's what we're doing as moms, you know, that's what we're doing as parents, that's what we're doing as storytellers, in any possible way that we can, I think.
Yeah, it's really,
but
it's really depressing.
I know, it really is.
Because you're like, you raise humans, or even you as a human yourself as a storyteller, right? Like you're compelled to tell stories. What is your why? It's never to hurt people, right?
No.
I don't think it is with you, right? What would be your why for being a storyteller?
Is to tell stories that make people feel less alone, make people feel seen. Ultimately, is connection building. I want to, and I like a story of redemption, because I think life is messy. You have to acknowledge the pain, but there's also so much good, and there's also so much hope. And if you're hunting for it, you will see it. You will find it. But it's the same thing with gratitude. You have to practice it. If you don't practice it, you won't even see the good things around you, because you're not putting yourself in the mindset of going, this is wonderful, this is great, this is great. It's not pretending like the shit isn't there.
Right.
The shit is there. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
Right? But the practice of going, yes, and there can be repair after rupture. There can be. We can model it in our relationships. We can model it with one another. We can model it with the way that we show up behind our keyboard when we're commenting on things.
Yeah.
There are so many ways to model and practice the goodness, because it's there. You just have to work for it. And it's easier to just do the base, negative, gross thing, which sucks. I hate that. But
Isn't it? And do you ever find people get annoyed? This happened this morning.
Oh, yeah?
Where my husband was like griping about something, and it was to me. It was in a safe space. He wasn't going to go take it anywhere else, right? And I'm like, but what if it's happening for you, and this happened so that you could see this, and this is what and he's like,
I can't do it right now.
Yeah.
it's just like, no.
Just not now.
Just no.
I guess
I'm
so
like,
funny. I know. I think you gotta pick your moments, obviously.
I try.
And sometimes people, it's I love the question. Are you in a seeking solution moment, or you just want to be in your feelings?
That's what we always do. We always do. We're like, do you want input?
Like,
or
we know you're
feedback, or
upset
you
about
just,
this. Do you just need to
Do you want to vent?
Yeah.
I will sit here and scream
Yes.
at the evils of your life with you,
Yes.
and cry and rage with you. Or
Yeah.
if you would like me to, I can also put my boots on the ground and figure out how we can figure out a solution.
Yeah. He's like, I don't need that right now. And I was like, okay, got it. You want to vent. And then he was like, no, I don't really want to vent. I'm done. And he was like, what were you doing? And I was like, I was just like being Tony Robbins. Like, that's what I was doing. But I get it. Sometimes people don't want to be in gratitude. And I'm not saying my husband, but I'm just saying in general.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people really want to be in the problem.
In the rage.
Yeah.
But by the way, we all want that at different moments. There are absolute, like, look, I'm sitting here talking about like looking for the positive, whatever. I am not always practicing that. There are times when I just want to burn something down. I'm so mad. And I just want to sit with my friends or my husband or my parents or whatever, where they can all reflect exactly why I'm so angry and go, yes, that is righteous. You should be angry about that. I am angry with you. Like, there is a value in that. It's the kind of like moving through, you have to move through the real stuff in order to get to the place on the other side of it where you can, okay, what's the redirection here? What is where do I move through this so I don't have to live in that? I think some people just stay in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. They like to live there.
Which is,
I can't.
it's a very unpleasant place
I
to
can't
live.
be around it anymore.
Yeah.
I really can't. If I pick it up, I'm like, oh, this person just really wants to be in their anger or these feelings. I'm just not. I can't.
Can't do it.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
No. Our time in the day is valuable.
Right?
Too many things to do. I got too much
busy. I gotta go to the store.
I
You
gotta
have
go.
now been talking for an hour and a half about how someone has wronged you.
Yeah, I'm like, your time's up. Time's up.
Time's up. I know.
But it's also moods are contagious.
Oh, yeah. It's
energies.
the energy. I don't need to see that.
I don't need to see that. My brother and I were talking last night while cooking, and he was like, something you said really went in a long time ago, and it made me look at things different. And I was saying to him, you are the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with.
Oof.
So if you don't like what you're surrounding yourself, there's something in you don't like. If you want to be different, you have to surround yourself with what you want to be.
Yeah.
And so you are the sum of the 5.
I really like that.
I love that.
I'm trying to think, who are my 5?
I know. I'm trying to think too. I feel like I have different people in different circles too, that it's not all one combo.
But where are you giving your energy?
Right.
Who are you going to for feedback? Who are you? Because that's what you become. And you look at it and you go, oh yeah, it's just a bunch of little microcosms of people that are sharing a shared experience, shared frequency. They're in the problem or they're in the solution, right? You don't see it scatter much.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to finish maybe a couple fun questions.
Okay.
Do you have any on the top of your head or do you need a card?
Do you have any cards?
Well, I didn't look through them and I don't
That's
know.
okay. We won't do the outrageous
Okay,
ones.
let's just do 2.
Okay.
Nope, not doing that. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope.
These are
my God.
really good
Nope.
ideas on these cards.
Nope.
Oh my God.
Is there something you wish you could take back?
In my life?
Yeah. You're like, no, I'm like an article of clothing.
It's so hard. It's so hard because I'm so wired to move forward that the thought of removing anything that has happened, I would have missed out on the lesson that came with it, you know?
Yeah.
And so like I am very much, I don't live with regret. I'm not like a regret person.
Yeah.
Because I do think that, I don't know, my engine is always moving forward. It's like that thing happened, that was painful. So then where was the lesson in it? What did I learn? And oh, look at this new thing that just came out of that. So I don't know that I would take anything back.
I like
Great.
that.
Yeah. That's really healthy.
Oh God. Is there a role you really wanted but didn't get?
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. I mean, and it was such a there was no way I was going to get it. But Elizabeth Bennet in Pride and Prejudice, when the new one was made. Oh, I wanted that so bad.
Oh, I love that so much. Oh.
Keira Knightley was very good. Very fantastic.
Oh.
But yeah.
Favorite junk food?
Trader Joe's dark chocolate covered peanut butter cups.
Yum.
So many people love those.
So good. It's just such a fun little tasty treat. At the end
I love
of the day.
Trader Joe's so much.
I do
Me
too.
So much.
I'm hungry.
So many good things.
Okay, if you could trade lives with any celebrity for a day, who would you pick?
Would I have all of their giftings as well?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
It's only
let's say
one day.
yes.
It's only one day. Like, let me be like Kristen Chenoweth when she was doing Wicked for the first time.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's a good one. Gosh, people's creativity really comes out in
so
these
good.
questions.
Are you excited for
I am
yeah.
out of my mind.
Yeah.
I am dying. I'm watching every single little snippet of everything
Yeah.
about it. My kid, I grew up doing musical theater. I love musical theater. And then I kind of like didn't really see a bunch for a while until my kids got old enough. And now we have musical theater playing a lot in our house. And they're always, like Hannah's in Peter Pan and they're both in James and the Giant Peach right now. And, you know, they're always doing something and singing musicals at the top of their lungs.
Love
So
it so
all of
much.
us are so excited for Wicked. And it's really fun.
I
That's
can't wait
amazing.
to. I love a musical. I'm
Me
a
too.
musical nerd.
We just went and saw Peter Pan and it was so
You did?
good. It was so good.
You know, Once Upon a Mattress is playing at the Amundsen.
I know, we're going to see it.
You
And
are?
I saw it on Broadway. So one of my best friends from college, Lear DeBesnay, is the director.
my
She directed that one.
Wow.
And she directed the revival of Into the Woods also. She's amazing.
I love
That's
it. I
so
want to go so
cool.
bad. I did it in high school. I did Once Upon a Mattress. So
You
I'm like trying.
did?
Yeah.
Wait, do you sing?
I mean, to myself.
She can sing.
I mean,
she's being
And not
humble.
like a lot, but a little.
we probably are like I did it all through high school and college, but like I'm not going to sing on Broadway. That's not going to happen.
Right.
But I had several of those songs were like talent show songs that I did in high school. So I knew every I
song.
went and I saw it a couple weeks ago in New York, and I saw it by myself.
That's
and
amazing.
I was like, it took everything in me not to just like
belt it out. Oh my God. So good.
So it brings me so much joy.
I cry every time I see a musical. I cry. I can't help it.
I can't either. I love
That
it
would
so
be
much.
fun to go take the kids.
Let's
to
do
a
it. Are you
musical.
down?
Yes,
to see Once Upon a
100%.
That's what
It's
would love
such
to.
a delicious, hilarious romp. It's so much fun.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
I'm
It's so good.
excited.
I want. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in love with a girl named Fred.
My reasons must be clear. I'm going to tell you all how strong he is. Stand right up and cheer. With an F and an R and an D and an F bar.
It's so fun.
So fun.
I'm
Let's
excited.
go. Okay. Well, we've settled
Tell
that.
us just a little bit about
Mistletoe Murders.
Oh, Mistletoe Murders, yes. So it's really fun. It's on Hallmark Plus, which is their new streaming service that just launched in September. And it's a 6-episode mystery series that with the backdrop of Christmas. But there's a murder mystery that happens every 2 episodes. A murder mystery is solved. But the bigger mystery that plays throughout all 6 episodes is the mystery of who is Emily Lane. She's this Christmas shop owner, but as soon as someone dies, she has all these skills that a retail shop owner should not possess. And you begin to see that there's more to her than meets the eye. She's running from something or running to something or, so there's a really fun kind of through line. So the thing that kind of goes through is who is Emily Lane, and also there's a really delicious love story that plays all the way through. So yeah, hopefully we get
fun.
many more seasons because it was a gorgeous experience.
In the summer, you were shooting Christmas.
And it was very warm.
Yeah.
It was warm.
I was going to say, because it's so cold there
very,
in the
very,
winter.
very, very warm. We had to wear like ice packs and stuff and cooling bands.
Seriously?
And, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
Which
brutal.
is so ironic because of winters there.
I know.
It's really. But you're better off because winter is
so unpredictable
so
and miserable.
brutal.
You don't want to shoot in the winter in Toronto under any circumstances.
Yes. But it's what a cute premise. I love
so much fun.
Wait.
It kind of has like a Veronica Mars-y feel to it because there's a mystery every 2 episodes that we're solving.
Yeah.
But then, and she's sort of moonlighting, Yeah. And then, but there's also this longer through line of like a bigger mystery that we're trying to figure out. And it's also just everybody's so good that it came out so well. And it was such a joyous experience that when those 2 things are married, you just kind of go, I want to do this for many more years.
Oh, it sounds so fun. I know. I'm like,
good.
that sounds great.
It sounds
It's a really
amazing.
fun show.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Hallmark,
Hallmark gets me, man.
Yeah.
And they're also kind of like, it has all the things we know and love from Hallmark at Christmas, but there's also like some deeper layers that they're
it
kind of
sounds
playing.
like it.
They're like really
it sounds very
elevating the already beautiful, wonderful stuff that they do on this new streaming platform.
That's so
Just
cool.
The look of it's really kind of noir and
Fun.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Can't wait to watch.
Yeah.
And thanks for coming.
Thank you, guys.
This was great.
This was so much fun.
Yeah.
So fun. What a nice conversation.
What did you get?
So I got a highlighter
From
Charlotte
Tilbury. Great. Love it.
I got a setting spray
From?
Urban Decay.
Okay.
I took their recommendations.
I would have recommended the Charlotte Tilbury, but
So did they. They said it was in between the two, but she was feeling the Urban Decay for me because that's what she uses herself.
okay.
And then I got a lip liner.
Yeah.
I got a new blush.
From? Color. I need all
I
information.
got Desert Rose.
Nothing makes me
from-
happier than this kind of stuff.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Desert Rose from, what's it called?
Nars?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are the blush people.
And I got a lip liner and a lipstick
From?
Dior.
Look at you.
I know.
What
but you
a
know what's
day.
exciting is that you actually noticed.
Yeah.
So you use the Charlotte, I can never say it right.
Tilbury setting spray.
You do.
I do.
Dang.
I like it.
I know. I've used yours and I like it. And that's why I got a setting spray.
Yeah. Although,
No.
you can use anything for a setting spray. Like if you
Hairspray.
yeah, like Aquanet. No, but like if you have like rose water, you know, like you just keep like the.
Oh, really?
Yes. Highly recommend any of that kind of stuff too.
So I had never, why does someone use a setting spray?
Osea has a really nice spray that I use as a setting spray. I wish I knew the exact name of it right now.
That's okay.
Yeah. Anyway, any spray works. My main point is a setting spray is very important to a final finishing.
So I'd never done it, and I'd never done it on myself.
Interesting.
Never.
Ever.
No, never. And then I started using yours when we'd get ready together, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
it just like adds a little
Yeah.
finish, right?
Spray.
Finishing spray.
You are very dewy.
Well, I also got a highlighter.
Yes.
The dewy might be the revision skincare.
Which highlighter? Like in a compact or in
Compact
a
Charlotte
wand? Is it the
Tilbury.
duo where it has like a bronzer and highlighter?
No, it's just highlighter.
Would have recommended the duo.
Well, why weren't you with me?
Why did you go shopping for makeup without me?
I went with my mom.
That's really cute.
Yeah.
But you needed me.
Yeah.
But you still did very good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You look great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Did you get a new mascara?
I've been using the Thrive one. You have it.
Where is it?
You have it in one of those boxes.
I need it.
You have two. It's really good.
It's
very
really
excited.
good.
That's what I have on
This is just
right
like a
now.
makeup commercial.
I know. The funny part is it was not an intended makeup commercial.
Not at all.
No.
I love makeup is fun. Buying makeup is fun.
So people really want to know. So we went to dinner last night for Baseball Moms Night Out,
Yes.
and everyone got into very deep conversations
Yes.
about the world and where the world stands and all of these things. And someone stopped it and said, can we pause that and talk about what is your skincare routine?
I love it.
And they were like laughing. I'm like, she's serious.
Yeah.
She wants to know your actual skincare
Yes.
routine. So
I want to know what was the most
I think there's
surprising or exciting.
Well, I know one mom was using Supergoop as a moisturizer and the SPF, which gives a nice, pretty glow.
Mm-hmm.
Ulta?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a thing?
I can picture the label, but I don't know if it's like Ulta Beauty's brand or if there's another brand you're talking about.
It's not Ulta Beauty's brand.
But there is a brand that's Ulta.
Right.
Okay, back to that.
Anyways, so
What else?
skincare, I can't remember.
Okay. I was told by a makeup artist recently that I really need a skincare routine, especially as you get older. I have none. I have no routine.
Right.
Like I am the least, most minimal, do nothing.
Yeah, but it works for you.
Sure.
I think it also depends on your skin.
My skin's very sensitive. I can't do a lot to it or it reacts. It's
You
also
do
very
well
dry.
with the Osea.
I do well with the Osea for sure.
Yeah.
And I do well with the Goop jeans.
Mm-hmm. Jeans?
That's the line of products. It's Goop, Genes. Goop
So that's
jeans.
not Supergoop.
Nope. Supergoop is completely separate from Goop.
Got it.
Supergoop is not a part of Gwyneth Paltrow Goop.
Interesting. I thought it was. Have you ever used Supergoop?
My skin does not like it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Mine likes it.
Briar loves the invisible sunscreen.
Love it.
It's
love
really
it.
fun to put on.
It feels
I can use it on
so
my
good.
body. It's just my face
Yeah.
reacts, but my body.
I've also been using the Molly Sims vitamin C
Oh, yes.
up until now. I'm doing the revision vitamin C, but I
Yeah.
was using the Molly Sims one. Is great.
And you're using the revision vitamin C.
Yeah.
Well, you look great.
You know what? I want to say something that I think is really important.
What?
I have a hard time washing my face before bed.
I can't tell you the last time I washed my face before bed. Can't tell you.
Go for it.
What I do like to wash my face with, when and if I wash it,
Yeah.
let me clarify. I use Comodine's wipes. It's not like I
Okay.
leave makeup on if I have makeup on and go to sleep. That does happen from time to time. The Dr. Bronner's unscented baby soap, Castile soap is what I use to wash my face.
That's not drying?
Very drying.
Oh, okay.
But I have very intense moisturizer for my face, like the thickest, like the Osea one and the Goop Jeans. Like it's very thick, the ones I use, and it's great.
Osea. Wait, so even if you have like full blown face makeup, you'll just come and do the pads?
And it's not a pad. It's a wipe.
It's a wipe.
But then I will take a washcloth with water if I need extra and then get it off.
Why at that point don't you just wash your face?
There's a few reasons.
Okay. I'd like to hear.
One,
though it's wet.
I don't like getting wet. No, I hate taking mascara off. It's my biggest, I hate it so much. Often if you see me, I still will have mascara on every day because I don't take it off at night. It is the biggest pain to get off. Okay?
Yep.
And if I wash my face, the mascara runs and you have to do the whole thing and my eyes are so sensitive and it really bothers me.
Okay.
It takes a long time for my water to get hot. Don't want to wash my face with cold water. Also, I don't love soap on my face.
It's not a vibe?
It's not a vibe. Water's fine. Water I can do. I'm weird.
Yeah. I mean, I just am lazy because like to me, when I don't want to wash my face, it's because I'm being really lazy. Right. But all the steps you're doing, I'm like, oh, it's not that she's lazy because that's not lazy. That's like steps.
I'm definitely lazy. And a lot of the times it's from laziness too.
I actually prefer darker sheets now because of it.
Because of your makeup?
Yeah.
And you don't want to see it on there?
Never want to see it on there.
You know the difference with me is I never, hardly ever in my day-to-day life wear face makeup like foundation and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not as big of a thing.
But even eye makeup like on a white pillowcase.
Yeah, like mascara.
No. So now I've switched to like a darker green sheet.
Where'd you get your sheets?
Because I don't.
Where'd you get your sheets from?
Buffy?
Don't know it.
It's really good. My sheets are incredible. We don't have an affiliation with Buffy, but we should have one. I got a whole set. I got the comforter set, the duvet, the sheets, and the pillows.
You know what I really love?
So good.
For like good sheets and everything is quince.
Are they good?
And bedding? Yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
You sent me curtains from there before.
Like
not
physical
actual
curtains?
That would be such a move.
What if
You
I just
should
sent
try
you
these.
curtains? That is something I would do.
That is something you would do.
Did you try the cupcakes? Did Elliot ever?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
Are you crazy? Do you know who you're talking to?
I know.
No, we ate the cupcakes.
The gluten-free vegan ones and the other ones.
We ate them all, Rachel. I was saying this morning, I was like, I ate this weekend like I work at a carnival. Literally. It was really
brings
bad.
me joy.
So we went to a roller skating party.
Yes. Briars.
And what did Elliot, my son, say when he walked in?
You need to tell the story.
He said, because he wears one of those baseball necklaces, this is all the rage. I didn't know. But a mom friend was like, I got this for Elliot because he's going to be really cool now with this necklace. And so I was like, okay. She's like, it's the drip. So he's walking into Briar's birthday and he looks at me. First of all, he does a hair flip where he fluffs up his hair, puts his head down and looks up with his eyes, like choreographed move. And he's like, with my newfound drip, I'm going to rizz up all the ladies here tonight. He's 9.
Yep. And he
did not rizz up one lady.
He
might have rizzed up Bella.
Sigma.
Yeah. He might have rizzed up a 21-year-old.
He has so much game.
It's hilarious.
It's unbelievable. Sigma for days.
Wait. I don't understand. Isn't it cooler to get like, I was like, look, Elliot, these are 4th graders. If you could rizz up a 4th grader, then you're like the Rizzler.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. But he didn't talk to anyone.
No. He's shy when it comes down to it.
He's
with people he
so
doesn't know. He's so shy.
But he'll like dance.
Well, we embarrassed him. He's embarrassed by us now.
Why?
You and I started singing, was it Eternal Flame or something? It was some 80s song.
Oh, that's right.
And he like legit like got red in the face and was like, oh my God, my mom and Ray like
yeah,
are so embarrassing.
So embarrassing.
Oh man.
Oh,
he
gosh.
he is something.
He's got it. He's in for it with us in
Yeah.
public for his life.
For life.
Does Briar get embarrassed?
Not really.
No.
No, not really.
That's cool.
I just bust out Disney songs at all times and she is used to it.
She doesn't ever get like, Mom.
She went through a phase, but it passed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder what we could do to embarrass her.
I'm sure there are things. Dude, yesterday I had to prep dinner, pick her up, bring her home, get homework done, take her to Girl Scouts, come back here, feed her the dinner that I had prepped so she could eat before soccer practice that we went to from 6:30 to 8 o'clock. Back and forth. And just me doing it all with her. It was madness.
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 I think we're overbooked as a society.
I agree, although Briar is not overbooked this year.
That's great.
I have reined it in a little bit and it's so much better.
Yeah.
But why are the kids so busy? We weren't that busy.
Heck no.
We didn't have things going on every day.
No.
Like you would come home, if you had kids, neighbors, you would play maybe in the street or whatever.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the same.
No, I think we've taken it too far, like everything.
I have a theory.
What?
Growing up, you used to just go to whatever school was like your neighborhood school, right? You do now, but you weren't before. People are finding different schools that suit this, You're driving all the time.
Yeah.
There's like carpools, there's like meetups, like where are you going, whatever. It's not the same as like you go to school and you walk home.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
That's what I did.
That's what they have around my kids' school.
Right.
They're all like that. They all walk to school. It's amazing.
I know. I did that.
I mean, we could walk to school. It's just with Shepherd. It takes
Yeah.
But I miss that. I'm like, I want that for my
100%.
kids. I want to be like, go play at Billy's or whatever.
Yeah. I know. I miss that.
Yeah.
I get really depressed when Instagram feeds you like 90s kids or whatever, 80s kids, and like you look and there was no internet, social media, phones, whatever. How different.
It feeds it to you.
It feeds me because it knows I'm hungry.
Yeah. It feeds you children from the 90s.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Mistletoe Murders. Super excited for Sarah's show. And how fun. A Hallmark murder show? Like, could it be any more catered to us?
Yeah.
Very exciting.
We should probably address that Rob's not here again.
Well, Rob's never here.
Yeah. Rob, we miss you.
Rob. Pour one out.
Pour one for Rob.
Yeah.
He's just really busy.
He's really busy.
Yeah.
Love
it's
you,
not
Rob.
that he doesn't like love us or want to be here.
I mean, I don't know if he loves us, but he does want to be here.
I think it's like a brother-sister love. Like, I can't stand you, but I love you deep down inside.
Totally. Love you, Rob.
Love you, Rob.
Okay. Love you, listeners.
Love you, listeners.
And eyeballs.
And eyeballs.
Bye.